Longtime followers of the channel may recall that I've mentioned being a pilot from time to time. In addition, if you happen to be a very long-time listener, you may have seen my physical glitch video where I discussed that I used to be an air traffic controller. Now, as a pilot and a former air traffic controller, I suppose that I look at games like Microsoft Flight Simulator just a little bit different than some people. However, many of the people interested in Microsoft Flight Simulator are also going to be aviation geeks like me. I don't pretend to be the ultimate airplane power nerd, and if anything, at this point, I prefer helicopters, frankly. More on that in a second. This isn't going to be a full review. You'll be able to find plenty of those across the internet. By the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video if you enjoy it. It really helps a small channel like mine. Interestingly, in looking at this, they've got some neat ideas for various live events and landing challenges. The type of thing that's really necessary when you're creating a game for people to come back to. We'll give this one a try. Not sure what the whole goal here is in terms of how you gain points and that sort of thing. Landing challenge, huh? 7,000 foot runway. 7,000 feet, well, 6,500 feet above sea level runway. Sounds like it's a particularly short runway in terms of length. No problem. Look at this. So what I'm doing right now is scrolling around with my mouse with the right trigger clicked. I mean, just look at how gorgeous this is. Like, there's no doubt that this is an absolutely beautiful game. See what kind of flaps we have in this thing. I am flying with a joystick. You know, luckily, if you do have some aviation knowledge, as you'll see when I fly Cessna later, you can actually tweak the things all you need to here. Actually, the gears work, fuel pumps. Not sure where the flaps are in this aircraft. Anyway, even on my... I have a powerful gaming rig, make no mistake, but my machine is not going to wow anybody who's comparing the size of gaming rigs by any means. This is kind of a tricky approach since the runway comes up in your face. Bleed a little altitude, a little bit of a skip there, a slip. Guess I don't know what I'm just supposed to stop. 500,000 points, I guess, I don't know. Smoothness, judged on smoothness, ground roll, and landing precision. Interesting. Ranked 7600th in the world. It's only my second landing in the game all total, so I mean, I'll take that. In addition, there's a marketplace. It's very clear that this is going to become a microtransaction fest. When we combine that with the fact that there are no helicopters or historical aircraft, for example, the Douglas DC-3, which is also known as the Dakota, or possibly as the C-47 in military context with some slight variants. There just is not the type of selection of aircraft you would expect at this point. Now, it is important to note that I spent the extra money to get the most thorough package. However, at the time that I'm making this, it's not unlocked. There's a fairly extensive discussion board post about this with the game developers just noting that they're working on it. So I will have more aircraft in the near future. However, none of those are helicopters, and none of them are as interesting to me personally as something like the Douglas DC-3. Much of the discussion on this game has been how it downloads the scenery. It's live streaming, and I will tell you that if you have any sort of data limitation with your computer or concerns about continued internet access, just based on whatever your circumstances are, this thing is going to be tricky for you. Set the Eiffel Tower off at my 11 o'clock low. I bet it is. See it through the window? My goodness. Can I open the window? Oh, man. If you've ever gone through flight training and felt a little airsick, being able to open that window or something similar to it in whatever aircraft you're flying is a big deal. I did most of my flight training in Pipers, actually, but then I've, of course, got, I don't know, a couple hundred hours in a Cessna as well. Request some flight following so they don't get too upset with me. Squawk 0625. I can do that. You need me to ident? I bet you need me to ident. Boy. Copy. Don't ever just say copy. Okay. First thing we gotta do is get in here and shut down an engine. Fastest way to shut down an engine, cut the fuel to it. Go ahead and feather that bad boy. Yeah, we'll leave that up too.
Landing here.
About to get complained at. Cancel flight following. Squawk VFR frequency change approved. Good day. I don't need my engine started, bro. Okay? My goodness. We're on a 6-mile left base to final for flying through the Eiffel Tower stupid. I mean, the real question at this point is whether we just... Do we go inverted with one engine? You know, which is rarely recommended, frankly. Or do we just knife edge through it, at which point we're going to be falling something fierce, but we want our power on engine up. Ah, boy, that's going to be tricky. We'll see. We'll see what we're feeling. I'm not sure about the total wingspan, but we might just fit through that center layer if we fly it at a steep enough angle. But at that point, we're going to have to count in our sink rate, because we're going to be falling. Okay, definitely need some power. Yes, I know my engine isn't started. Thank you for constantly reminding me.
500.
Fine, we'll fly a Cessna 172. I do want to point out that the Cessna 172 that they make available in the base package is a glass cockpit. Ain't nobody flying G1000s around here, okay? You got $500,000 you want to dump into your Cessna 172. I got a Cirrus I can sell you real cheap. Who on earth around here learned to fly in a Cessna 172 with a glass cockpit? It's steam gauges all the way, okay? This is ludicrous. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, Pentagon's right there. We're going to be busting some national security airspace here just to go look at the scenery. You know, so I've got the hat on top of my joystick, which is how I'm kind of clicking around, but I really prefer to look at it like this.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Oh, we're fine. My goodness.
Don't sink.
You don't sink.
Don't sink.
If you've never been to DC, I strongly encourage it to run around the mall. Oh boy, 5 miles and change, I think it is, something like that. What is happening here? Where is the top? Did you guys seriously just turn this into a skyscraper? What? Okay, that is not acceptable right there. Wow.
500.
And we get down here where we've got Congress and the Supreme Court. This is, I mean, really? They didn't even, I mean, maybe the DC area was one of my, was one of the areas that, you know, I paid extra for and just haven't gotten it or something, but this is, I don't know. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. I mean, it's certainly not bad. Let me be clear. Let's see if they got the White House in approximately the right area. I'm not seeing it. Okay, I guess maybe that. Okay, well, You win some, you lose some, you know, it's alright. Microsoft Flight Simulator from the early 2000s was one of those seminal games for me. Now, for some context, my grandfather owned a Cessna 150 Aerobat, the type of airplane that is supposedly similar to one that they have here in the game, but we'll talk about that as well. In addition, looking back, the games in the early Microsoft Flight Simulator series were some of the games that undoubtedly cemented my path into aerospace. Being able to flip a switch on a computer and fly different types of aircraft just about anywhere was a dream come true. There's no damage modeling. That sort of thing is always disappointing to me, but it makes sense when you think about how many licensed aircraft they have. You don't want accurate representations of how, you know, the wings can blow off of an aircraft in wake turbulence or something like that. Don't want them going in like a lawn dart when you're flying with a bunch of buddies online or something. Gonna have a power on stall here pretty soon. Any other pilots? Any other pilots out there excited about this? Now again, I spent the extra to get the more custom airports and that sort of thing, and have not been able to. They're just not downloaded. It doesn't work. In addition, the fact that there are no helicopters is tremendously disappointing to me. Important to note here, you can also relive the last flight of Roy Halladay, the former pitcher, if you'd like to. This Icon A5 is the type of aircraft he was flying when he crashed. Tree 459er Foxtrot. See, even with the libraries, you can just see how they're going to be selling different paint schemes and whatnot. And it's also important to note, I mentioned this earlier, the Aerobats, one of the defining traits of the Cessna 150 and 152 Aerobat is a checkerboard pattern on them. This thing doesn't have that. Like, if you're gonna make the time to specifically designate that you're making an Aerobat, which is a Cessna 150 or 152 with a larger engine, why would you not be sure you got the paint job right? Anyway, airport with which I am very familiar. Oops. Go up here to the GA ramp, somewhere in there. We're gonna go live airport activity, nothing there, okay. We will, however, call up some, go ahead and go AI air traffic. We're gonna customize the weather a little bit here. Let's see what snow looks like. Snow with lightning. Flying in a 170 or in a 152 in weather like this. Not great. Let's give it a shot. See what we can do. These loading times are no joke. But that's to be expected with a game this large. Oh, we got a rainbow.
Cleared for takeoff runway 27 Cessna 59er Foxtrot.
Oh my goodness, I hope I never sounded like that. Wow. Yeah, we already got some a little bit of light icing. It's fine. We got our carb heat on. We will see how this goes. Something tells me it's not gonna go well. Ah, come on. It's one of those times where I want to get to my outside view. Whoa. My airspeed indicator isn't showing anything. My pitot tube's iced up. Yeah, I got nothing. That is great. There we go. Much better. This is my old stomping grounds. For anybody not familiar, Kansas City International is flaps up. There we go. Bravo airspace. At least when I was there, it was Bravo airspace up to 8,000. We also had the Tracon. That's the building that sits at the base of the tower. Controlled up to 15,000. We also had the airspace over Kansas City downtown and a couple other area airports. This was very much my my area. See, now even here, there are 3 terminals at Kansas City. Oh, Stallhorn. You silly. Can't you just look at your airspeed indicator? You're not actually even flying. There are 3 big terminals right here, big round ones, and they've got the kind of the outline of them. Oh, there we go. I see. Okay, that one's there. Yep, that tower, or that building at the base of the tower is the radar facility, the Tracon. Anyway. This isn't even one of their customized airports, and that bridge is approximately in the right location. It's been years since I've been back to Kansas City. And still no other aircraft out here, so that's kind of disappointing. Oh, wait a second. Is that a person? Is there a person walking out to this plane? There's something sitting out there. Oh yeah, here's a few aircraft. Yeah. There are people out with these aircraft. That is... maybe it's fuel? I'm not sure what it is. You know what? The good thing about a tiny Cessna is that we can just land wherever we want and not even have to worry about it. A little bit of power. Did you guys activate my dang brake? Yeah, you did. What the crap? I've got all these assist features turned off, but they're still trying to assist me. They gotta get that straightened out. Cessna 152 takes the dirt path and doesn't feel bad about it. Ground speed is too low. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Got a ground crew out here. How you doing? Good to see you. Oh my goodness, she moves. Did you see that? Wow. That is some attention to detail. And I'll tell you, this aircraft is not flyable in here right now. It probably tells us a little something about what could be coming. A little commuter. Forget what that is, a Saab maybe? It's been a while. Another Saab, Baron. That's a nice paint job on that Baron. Probably something they're going to sell to us. See, and this is part of the fun. It's just being able to go to wherever you're from, whatever you're familiar with. Can we hit cars? I mean, that's the real question. Oh, great. First of all, these guys have no idea which side of the road they're supposed to be driving on. And it's not like it matters anyway. Ultimately what we've got here is a tremendously fun simulator for those interested in simulators like this. This may not necessarily have mainstream appeal. It does have the ability to work with a gamepad and mouse and keyboard, so that will at least be interesting to some people. And hopefully for the next generation of pilots, something like this will be able to kind of help them get their foot in the door so they can check it out. I don't know, I'll have to think about if I want to do more content of this for the channel. Let's see what that looks like. Either way, just as a pilot and a former air traffic controller who also happens to do YouTube stuff about video games, this made a lot of sense. I've got to tell you though, there must be helicopters, be it a Robinson or a Bell or something like that. Absolutely must have helicopters.